I crane my neck up. I've been on this ride. I'm a responsible adult. And I see you and Matteo. You know what I mean?
Wait. Actually, I got a surprise for you.
Yes.
Does it work?
Yeah. Yes. It's working out.
Matteo's in drinking, so this is going to be a lot of fun.
This is the Inkpulp podcast.
Hey, Eric. Welcome to the Inkpulp podcast, everyone. I've got the reluctant Eric Canetti here today.
I wouldn't say. Yeah, I would say reluctant.
I definitely would say reluctant.
Yeah. The longer the day goes. How are you in your amazing Friday shirt, Shawn? By the way, we're shooting this on a Friday morning.
Mm-hmm.
It is close to 10 a.m. local time.
For you,
and
yes.
Just a couple of days ago, I don't know what is the. We had a guest on that before they came on. They asked me what time of the day that we record, and typically this is like 7 a.m. for me, 10 a.m. for you. And I said like 7 a.m. and they laughed at it and they said, "Oh, is that why you're so cranky all the time?"
You can say who it is if you want. That
I didn't know when it was. I didn't know when it was coming out. You know,
this
I didn't
one
want to ruin it.
No, we record in chronological order for the most part.
Oh, I see. But what if in the instance where something goes foobar and we got to release one before the other?
It's already out. The thing is, that episode is out today. Jamie's already got it up.
No way.
It's on Patreon. Yeah, it comes out Monday for the rest of people.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's also why we're recording like every Friday for a little while.
Oh, I see. It's just to get a bunch in the can and
give us a little more of a buffer.
What's the safe number? What's like the ideal number to have a buffer just in case? We're basically doing inventory episodes like comics does inventory covers.
But no, it's not inventory. It's coming out. It's scheduled to come out. I just need more leadway from recording and then Jamie getting it out. I would say ideally, and we've rarely hit this, would be six episodes ahead.
Yeah.
But a month is pretty safe.
Okay. 4. So 6 episodes, as many as low as 4, but 6 is like great.
Yeah, 6 because anything more than that is a problem, and anything less than 4 weeks can be a problem.
Why is it a problem? Let's talk about your experience in this podcasting space, Shawn, your discoveries inside of it.
Because I build these schedules, and if I schedule too far ahead of time, it doesn't take into account the problems that will arise. So I'll spend, let's say we're doing 8 weeks ahead of time, and I'll spend all this time scheduling it out, lining up the guests, recording it, or getting ready to record it. And then everyone's like, oh shit, so-and-so's sick, so-and-so has to do this, so-and-so has to do that. And I got no one here. Now I've got to take all that work I've done, erase it, and then double it by having to do it again. And it's not a good use of time.
Yeah. Yeah, most professional podcasts, and by no means am I claiming that this is a professional podcast. They have they have coordinators that do this. You're kind of doing it on your own.
I would love to have someone like handling the scheduling.
Yeah.
On this, that would literally give me back probably close to a full day a week.
I think the way you guys are going, and the reason why I've thought about the language that I use whenever I'm describing being on this podcast, and it's often like you and Maddie and Jim, and once in a while I'll drop in, and I don't know why in my head I think I keep doing that, but it's probably in part because I'm always looking for a life raft to get off the Titanic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm
That's what I was going to say.
I know this ship is going to sink. I just don't know when it's going to sink. Anyway, I think the way the podcast is going, it's just a matter of time that it becomes even more sustainable, that you'll be able to get that day back.
I think so.
Yeah.
And I've already got I'm going to start just training Zoe a little bit on it, so that when the time comes, I can pass it off to her and pay her to do it.
Yeah. I think you could start training AI to do to like be guests on the podcast. That way it'll never.
We don't even have to do the show anymore.
Did you hear about, I can't remember which former CNN host it was, but they did an interview of an AI recreation of this is really morbid, but one of the kids that got killed during one of these school shootings.
What?
Isn't that incredible?
They did like an animated
recreation
film?
Of a kid of this guy interviewing a kid who was killed during those school shootings and interviewing them.
Oh, it was a fictional interview. I see.
Yes. Yeah. But AI was running. I have no idea. I don't know. That's as far as I got because I just thought that it was so gross and so like, what's the purpose of this? Like, what do you expect to get?
Wondering. Yeah.
You know. Anyway, I thought
so
if we
gross.
ever decide to do that, Mobius is right up there, right? If you want to talk about, let's bring back the greats. You know what I mean? Jack Kirby
awesome.
would be in there too. You know what I mean? And then we'll do a duel between the two of them. Who's better? Who's got the better Silver Surfer? You know.
Now we're talking.
Well, Shawn, I just kind of fixed the podcast for the next 15 years.
Yeah,
so we can just bring anybody on.
It's been real. We're going to have Jack Kirby be our new host. And he's going to interview all the legends throughout time.
Right.
I think his first guest is Michelangelo.
Yeah. God will be on the podcast. Okay. So yeah. I mean, so here you are X amount of years later, right? And obviously the podcast has sort of like metamorphosed into what it is now. You brought friends on. Thank you very much. But it's not the same challenges in getting comfortable with them. It's a different set of challenges all the time, right? Like something will always come up where you're like, I've never had to account for this, right?
Yeah.
What's that like? I mean, can you comfortably talk about a couple of them where you're like, I would have never expected that X amount of years in?
Well, I mean, there's always some sort of, not always, most of the reasons are a technical issue.
Yeah.
Like this morning, it was a technical issue.
For sure.
We were supposed to record with a guest, but
they
had a piece of equipment that was missing.
Yep.
I don't know that it's usually a technical issue or an illness, and those are totally understandable. Has anything crazy happened? Not that I can recall.
Well, let me interrupt. Like in the past, it was like, I remember however many years ago, it was a semi-controlled environment, right? You'd bring
bought the technology.
Exactly.
I had it with
was all the equipment was with you. The only thing that was sort of variable was when the guest would be on and what time it was. There was no video. There was no.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know
audio.
if there was an immediate editor, right? Correct me.
Alan put it together,
Sure.
but there was no editing of the show. It was just like taking the meat of the podcast and marrying it to the intro I would record at a later time.
That's right. That's right. I just, by the way, again, I can't sing their praises enough, but Jamie, I've seen a glimpse of what you do behind the scenes, the kind of thought process that goes in there, because you're not just assembling video, you're not just making sure all the technical stuff is working, but also understanding the next significant, like, what is it, 24 steps ahead of that.
Yeah.
Like how it works well in the YouTube space and the algorithm space and all the little, the buttons that you have to press, the things that you have to toggle on and off. And boy, I'll speak for myself. I just feel like sometimes I go, you sit there and watch a podcast someplace and you go like, oh, that seems easy. Not realizing there's a Jamie, if not multiple Jamies behind the scenes, making sure all the buttons are pressed,
Yeah, there's not many Jamies out there.
Yeah.
Jamie's a gem.
Oh, wait, before I forget, the point I was getting at was like when we shoot this, it's typically 7 a.m. in the morning, for me. And our guest said, like, is that why you're typically so cranky? And I had a good laugh at that. I was like, that's kind of funny. Is that why I'm cranky? And the truth of the matter is, no, that's actually when I'm at my most at peace. I get crankier as the day goes on. This is
right, as we said before we hit record.
Yeah, it is now 10 a.m. and this is just it's just a matter of a couple of more words that you say where this just turns into a giant shit show, you know? I think that's the reason why Matteo doesn't show up for a later, you know, well, first of all, the time difference, but second of all, he just knows, you know, Filipino Hulk is on his way. It's just a matter of like which
Filipino Hulk.
Hulk,
Oh man,
you know,
Jamie, what can you do with that?
Filipino Hulk is on his way.
The Incredible Hulk is here.
The incredible Hulk. All right, so you know, I'm always fascinated by, and again, the guest that we had. Why I don't know why I'm avoiding saying their name. It's Robert Kirkman.
Yes,
yeah, it's Robert Kirkman.
Yeah, you all saw the episode.
Yeah, I hope so. I was there. You're talking about the guest. You're talking about the audience
everyone
now.
has seen it by now. Yeah.
Have they? All right.
Yeah.
So, you know, you first of all, you're an incredibly gracious host, not just for bringing us on, but I see your interviewing style. When things are going, you take a step back and just let people talk.
I feel like a good interview is when the interviewer doesn't say much.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But when
Otherwise,
there's three of us, I feel like you're missing the, you know, I know you got a couple in the chamber because you prepare just enough. Or do you? Am I giving you too much credit?
You're giving me way too much credit.
Okay, yeah. Trying to be nice this time, you know. Unlike
no,
I
but
was
if it's rolling, I'm not going to derail.
Yeah.
And take it like try to steer it off. And you also, you're the most familiar with Robert. You guys have a bit of a rapport together.
Yeah.
So I step back a little bit for that too, because it's like when Matteo has a guest that he chose and it's someone I don't know, I let Matteo kind of run the ship.
Okay. But also, to be fair and full disclosure, I gave him a good chunk of money to just like bomb on you for like 5 minutes straight. You know, I was like, well, let's do that.
Yeah,
and then,
that was money well spent,
in my opinion. No, you take this interview approach of just like letting people roll, and yeah, sure, it's there's a level of familiarity depending on who the guest is and blah blah blah. But I think generally you're just like let me plant a seed into people's minds as far as like what they can roll with and talk about at length and blah blah blah. And you just kind of like get out of the way. And I've seen you sort of take a not necessarily passive, but definitely cordial, right? Position about like, oh, they're not done talking yet or whatever. I think, you know, one of the things I was trying to pull out of you by asking you like some of the, not just on the podcasting end, but obviously from a host end, like, you know, I know there have been times, and we talked about it offline, where you've had guests on where it's like, man, it's difficult having conversation tennis with them because it almost, I don't ever know you to ask a yes or no question, you know, but they answer it as if it's a yes or no question.
Right,
You're man, this is going to be a rough one.
I got to start digging through the cement.
Podcasting, people don't know, especially, it's not even dependent on us because we can talk forever, I think. Right.
Yeah.
But when we have a guest on, it's so difficult. One of my primary concerns, you tell me if this is true, but I think it is. One of my primary concerns is representing them well. Right? Because you can tee them up in such a way where they'll just go with the flow of something, and you'll look back on it later and be like, oh, that's a bad look. You know, like that. Yeah. That's a.
And there's a few reasons you want to avoid that. One, because you don't want your guest to look bad and regret having come on the show. You don't want bad stuff getting out there. But B, that means you didn't do a good job as a host, and now you're either having to scrap the episode, or heavily edit the episode to the point where people will feel the presence of the editor. For sure.
And to be fair, it's not talking about like, you know, just glazing somebody and making them look good. But there are times when, you know, as the host, you know that you're in control of that episode, right? You know, you're like sort of setting up the style of the conversation and sort of just like, you know what I mean, the tone and tenor and how you talk to each other back and forth. So that's always been interesting for me, at least in your interviewing style. We go back a few years, right? We go back
just a few.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
But it's different. Yeah. When you first started, it was like there was alcohol involved, which I didn't take part of, but like
sometimes,
there was alcohol involved, and it was more of like just chit-chatting in a quiet room somewhere, whereas
Yeah,
now
it
it's
was
a little
in
bit
person.
different.
Yeah, it was always in person. And it was always, then it was more about the personality and life of the person behind the artist.
Yeah.
And I feel like now it's much more casual than that. I feel like there is a definite focus on the business mind behind the artist.
Mm,
And that comes into play. And also just navigating the current landscape of the industry or
sure.
the internet or any of that stuff.
Sure.
I think it's not as intense now. And I
You're
think
saying it's less intense?
Yeah, I think it's more better information, more entertaining.
Oh, that's
now.
interesting. I'm wondering if that's just a change that you've made because it's like a natural organic thing that came about, or did you reflect on like,
Well,
wait, we do this version of it for X amount of years, and there's only so much we can pull out of somebody before I start having the bad version of conversation tennis.
Yeah, I mean, I realized that old way of doing it. I was in a not a great headspace, and that was in every episode. So therefore, my interviews were coming from that place, and I was trying to get to, well, what are you struggling with?
Oh, interesting.
And get to that.
Yeah.
And I just, after a few years of that, and after working on myself and climbing out of that headspace and looking back at it, I was like, I'm feeling better now.
Yeah.
But I'm noticing a lot of the comments I'm getting from people are like still in that headspace. And I'm like, like I was, for lack of a better way of putting it, I was like at a low frequency attracting low frequencies.
Sure.
And I was like, I want to be at a high frequency attracting high frequencies.
Right.
And I think that's a big part of what's working now is where like people get joy and enjoy the show.
Yeah.
And it lifts people up instead of bringing them down.
Sure.
And I was like, if I'm climbing out of this and everyone's wanting me to do a show that's bringing things down, it's going to bring me down.
Right.
And I didn't want to do that.
Right. You're an incredibly empathetic person, as I've come to realize, during our hangout sessions. So it's interesting for you to bring that up in a way that it's still organic, right? You had grown and you had said, hey, let me figure out what you're about. And I'm in this emotional headspace. I'm in this psychological space. And then something, it's clear that you've climbed out of it or continue to climb out of it better and better still each day. Because I remember, without going into details, you had texted me, 2 days ago, and you apologized for something that was interesting. You said like, oh man, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have been, I shouldn't be talking like that. It just ends up bringing me down, blah, 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 which is a level of self-awareness. Cause I was, what do you call it? I excused. I was like, oh, Shawn, sometimes you just need a little bit of that shit talking, to kind of get it out there. And I know I'm not the person that weaponizes it, but clearly you were, weaponize it by way of like, yeah, let's talk more shit about that person. It's almost, we do end up talking shit about that person, but it's just like tongue in cheekly, right? We don't go deep into like, why should they,
Well, because if I start going down that way, then that like little devil in me is like, let's go. And and then I go deeper and deeper, and I'm like, what am I doing here? This is not a place I want to be.
You're like an emotional alcoholic. You know what I mean? You like once you once you fall off that wagon, you're
I like to microdose my hate nowadays.
Yeah. Microdosing. That's your next t-shirt. Jamie, can we put like a next t-shirt for Teespring or wherever it is we're going to end up publishing these t-shirts, this merch out of? Microdose your hate, That's freaking awesome. That's trademarkable. It's quippy. All right, so I think I see that in how you, and it's weird, man. Like, when I see you and Matteo interact, it's just kids on sugar, right? But I think that's when your energies align.
Yeah.
And it's perfect because it's just bouncing off of each other. And the worst part, at least for me, is that it never climaxes and goes away. It just maintains. And I think, but in a strange way, that's how my energy with your guys' energy align. When Kirkman was on, I brought up the fact that I was trying to do a little bit of listening, primarily because I didn't want to ask him questions that had been asked, odd, like it's nauseating how many times the same questions get asked to you, depending on whose show you're on.
Right.
So I was listening to him and Rob Liefeld talk, and Rob Liefeld's energy is like not manic, but it's high. It's like
it's very
the
high,
fruit coast is up. Right. And by the way, that's a positive thing. That's a complimentary thing because he loves comics.
Right.
He loves talking about it. He loves talking about it with his friends. It's never gone away. You multiply that by decades, and more often than not, you see it kind of trend downwards. In Rob's, it sustains or like escalates even more with each project that goes out. Right. But it's definitely not my energy. Right. My energy is like subdued. Oftentimes it's so subdued, people see it as negative. Would you say it's negative, Shawn?
Your energy?
Yeah. Is it, what do you call it? Is it?
I don't think it's, no, I don't think it's negative. It's your energy is calm.
Yeah.
I always quote, like Chiarella wrote that intro to one of your art books, and he referred to you as like a monk in the meditative state of drawing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's a good description of Eric.
I just don't want it to. I don't know why this guy's comment. I think it's primarily for the comedy of it all. I was going to say I don't know why this guy's comment lives rent free in my head, but it primarily is the comment. After I had gone, I had taken a hiatus for a while. I was like, thank goodness Kennedi's out of here. It was getting a little bit too negative, And I internally laugh at that because I go like, I don't know what they're used to when it comes to like overall. I think maybe it's because there's just so much stuff on YouTube that often talks about authenticity, but that authenticity compiled with that authenticity is this level of like, I have to talk about things, not necessarily positively, but there's never the kind of attitude that I often take, which is like, I love you guys, but I don't want to hang out with you. But I still love you,
But that's authentic.
Different.
But that's authentically
but
you.
Yeah.
And I think to be anything else would be performative.
That's what I'm getting at, Yeah. And so when we're hanging out on the podcast, it's not as if I can't stand being there. Does that make sense? It doesn't come from a place of like, I hate you guys.
No,
Wait a
I
second.
never thought
Let
that.
me think about it.
I mean, what people got to understand is like when we used to do shows together, we would split a room, the three of us.
For sure.
Matteo and I would go out every night for dinner and then a few drinks.
Yeah.
And you would always go back to the room
Right.
and just like be alone because that's what
Right.
you needed to do to recharge.
Right.
And so we never took it as you hated us. We're like, Eric needs this time to himself, whereas we need this time to be outward.
I think it's in part. Let me think about it like this. Let me put it to like this. I think a lot of the external set of eyeballs that are looking at us and seeing our quote unquote camaraderie or our chemistry, whatever you want to call it, don't have that in context. Don't have the years of like going to shows, hanging out, understanding each other's tendencies. You know what I mean? And like to your point right now, it's like the show. I need we're there for 8 hours plus, maybe as few as 6, but let's say like 6, right? Like in those 6 to 8 hours, I need time to be on my own and not have to interact with people. Not because I hate people, right? But because that's just the kind of person that's just what I need. Whereas you guys,
you're an introvert.
You guys get jazzed about that.
Alone.
Yeah.
Matteo and I like charge each other. When we're out at a dinner socializing, we're charging up.
Right. So can you imagine that sort of interaction between 3 people who have a genuine care for each other, but their frequencies are just, not misaligned, but certainly different enough where the moment we get into a room and you guys are just starting to chest bump and, fucking patting each other on the back. And I don't do that, and then now we have a podcast together. I think that's what hopefully that's what people are picking up on, and the commentary between back and forth that we have, I remember yesterday or a couple of days ago when we had Kirkman on, and I can't remember what I said, but I think it was a bridge too far for Maddie. And he was just like,
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
you know,
what
he
did
was
you?
like,
I have to listen to that again because when he said that, I was like, "What was so bad?" I was kind of surprised.
I think it was
but-
just one. It was just like, if this was a scale, it was just 1 gram too much for Matteo to be like, yeah, I don't know what it was.
But
I know,
yeah,
oh
the
no,
way-
no, I do know what it was. I remember when I lobbed the ball to you, and you had said something, and I said
Yeah.
like, okay, that's the appropriate amount of time you should be talking. And Matteo was just like, Jesus, that's a lot. You know, I was like, okay, I didn't know that was any different. But I think it might have been like a little bit of poison is okay, but that was a lot of poison all to combine all together all at once. You know?
Yeah, I wasn't phased, but I was. It was nice of him to just kind of stand up.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like, I'm trying to chest bump with this guy, and you're sitting in here and slapping the both of us. It's so weird. It is to say, and I want to say this, I love hanging out with you guys. I really do. It is it's something that in previous times I had, because I was in a different headspace, you know, I didn't appreciate it as much as I should have. But nowadays, seeing the both of you just be like complete goofballs, and again, it wasn't even that I was involved. I would see it. It would come up on my feed because I'm subscribed to the channel, like some kind of narcissistic weirdo. And I would listen to you guys, and there was a point where I was like, okay, I can't take too much of this. But then something clicked again in recent times where I was like, I can't take too much of this, and I don't click off. Does that make sense?
Right,
like, oh, I love these guys' interactions. I love it when they're talking. I love it when they're just being goofballs. And again, let me go back to it and due to in no small part, Jamie's way of editing the clips, you know, and how much fun it is, you know?
Yeah.
And so the X amount of times that I've been back recently, I'm like, all right, I love being here. I love hanging out with these guys. And
Well, let me just say, we love you being back here, and I want the people to also know, since you've kind of come back, you have been inviting and securing guests of a caliber that I didn't think we could get on a regular basis.
Why? Why was that?
It's not that I shouldn't even say it that way. It's not that I didn't think we could get them. I just didn't even think that, like, it wasn't even like in my mind that we should be reaching out there. It was like, who's in our circle? That's where I was looking.
Right.
And you know, even though we got McFarlane, I saw that as like, oh, we got lucky.
Yeah.
And then you came in and were like, I'm going to ask these people. And then boom, we have Kirkman. And then we have like, as of today, like 3 or 4 other guests. I'm like, whoa, this is going to be awesome.
Right. I think it's got a lot to
partly
do
access. Part of it is access.
Sure.
I didn't have access to these people. I mean, I could have asked someone to get me in front of them. Like there was like one person I could, like, in between me
removed.
and whoever it is.
Right.
And so because of that, I just felt like I should be able to reach out directly.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? Like, and I don't think Robert would care if I said this, but I think I'm mostly going for the spirit of it, you know? Mm-hmm. I remember emailing him in regards to coming on to the show, and he just said, and he's a different creature. He's plugged into everything. So this did not surprise me, you know? So when he emailed back, he was like, I was just waiting for you to ask. You know?
Yeah, that blew me away.
I kind of laughed, and it made me go like, oh, so he listens to the episode. And clearly after you've seen the episode, he's watched the episodes enough so that he had his own little, you know, anti-Sith, you know, presentation
Dude, that was
behind
awesome.
him.
That was awesome. Yeah.
And it then planted the seed in my, like, this level of like clarity, reality. I don't know what you want to call it. But because the nature of the show, the nature of the people that we talk about, and obviously the kind of subjects that we end up talking about, it gets put in front of people, and their awareness of the podcast, I think, has pretty much skyrocketed, you know?
Yeah.
And so I am surprised by that awareness. And then I should also be unsurprised because of all the hard work that you guys have been putting into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm surprised by the awareness. I am surprised by that.
Yeah,
But
people just don't say anything, but they are aware of
Right.
it to the point where we get both bad and good coming at us behind the scenes, going like,
Right.
dude, I'd love to be on the show, or like, oh my gosh, how dare you guys say that kind of stuff? You know what I mean? Like that's the
Right.
kind of stuff that I'm like, oh, okay, clearly people are listening, you know?
Yeah, and I shouldn't be surprised because you're right. And every time Matteo and I do a convention,
Yeah.
we get someone coming up to us like Jay Lee in Dallas telling
Yeah.
us how much he loved the show, and I'm like,
Right.
wow,
Right.
you know about this? Like, but yeah, it's. I mean, Humberto loves the show. Like,
For sure.
this stuff is crazy.
For sure.
So
But you just
yeah.
mentioned 3 people who are plugged into the comic book scene, you know, to the consistently evolving comic book community and the scene that is comic books, whether it be the business side or the production side or whatever.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be surprising. So here's my stance on every time somebody comes on, right? We talked earlier about your guys' energy, and if I can't tell if you guys are barely able to tell that you guys are on a podcast, because I think you are like this close to just running around in a room and spinning on the ground like Curly from Three Stooges. You know what I mean? Like you guys are like this close to like, yeah, exactly. Just like slapping your heads and slapping each other. Every time a guest comes on whatever, if it's a tiering system, every time a guest comes on where I'm like, that's a respectable, all of the guests thus far, I'm like, that's a respectable person. Every time that they're on and I'm not there, I worry for them. Do you know? I like when Kirkman was on, and my first question is, I heard that you've heard of the show. You were enthusiastic to finally be invited. I had to bite my tongue and be like, why are you here? You know?
And yet you're reaching out to some amazing people, inviting them on still.
Because like it's almost masochistic. Like you know, like I love them. I have a general respect and care for some of them, right? Because some of them I don't know, so I really can't extend that sort of like concept. But like I almost like it's you know, the best I akin it to, like my kid wanted to go on the biggest slide at the water park, right? And as an adult, you know, lapsing them by decades age-wise, I go like,
I mean, how, like, are we talking like one that the adults go on and it's intense, or are we talking just a big water slide? Okay.
No. It's a major
It's
one.
the drop.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're partway through it. The gravity goes just like, okay, you know? And that was basically my attitude. They were like, you know, my son was like, Dad, you know, that looks like a lot of fun. And I judge the danger of something by how high I have to crane my neck, you know, and this was high. I was like this, you know. So I look up and I go, that's a bad move, you know. And then I started seeing all the other kids go up this, you know, I'm looking at them going like, they can't be any, you know, older than my kid. So I guess everybody's okay. Not thinking to myself, like, these parents are the most irresponsible parents. But eventually I go like, all right, fine, let's go. You know, get up there, goes down near like, I meet them at the bottom. He has a look of like, I don't know if I should have been thrilled or mortified.
I remember this as a kid. I remember this.
But, you know, they ended up safe. They didn't die. They didn't lose any fingers. They were, you know, no bones were broken. So clearly they survived. That is the same sort of attitude that I have when I invite guests in. I crane my neck up. I've been on this ride. I'm a responsible adult. And I see you and Matteo. You know what I mean?
Wait. Actually, I got a surprise for you.
Yeah.
Yo.
I was just talking about you.
Shit.
What's up?
Can you hear us?
Why?
This gets progressively worse as we go.
Just wait.
Wait a second.
It's gonna get. Can you hear us or no?
Can you hear us? What's going on?
Hear in my ear plug, but why don't I? You're super low.
Turn your volume up.
I'm trying. This is a
it's not
maximum
working.
level, but I can't hear you.
Try leaving, Matteo, and then coming back in,
Yeah.
or try leaving
Yeah.
and not coming back at all.
All right, I'll try to leave and use the same link and see what happens.
Okay, we'll be here.
Bye bye.
All
I
right,
wish
so
my
so
volume
what?
wasn't working.
So Matteo,
You're gonna ask me
as we were
which
talking-
part of that? No, I saw it.
No. Mateo's had been drinking, so this is going to be a lot of fun. Did you notice how he was slurring, trying to figure this shit out? Oh, it's going to be good.
I saw the messages and I thought, like, Shawn, show some discretion.
Never.
But this is my analogy perfectly, right?
Exactly.
But I also see the other kids going up this thing. You and Matteo being those other kids going up this fucking water slide. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to bring my kid up there with these idiots. And I guess eventually this will work out going out the other end. And I think it's that, like, you have to learn from the guest end to be like, oh, I'd love to be on that show because your guys' chemistry is so good and I want to be part of it and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, it's a giant water slide.
Well, do you remember when Francis was on the show?
Yeah.
And me and you started going at it a bit. And then Matteo was like, guys, we have a guest. And then Francis was like, oh, no. I want to be a part of this. Like, this is what I love on the show. And now I get to be in it.
Yeah.
So I think there's
That's
something
weird,
to
man. You know? That's weird. Anyway, so that's what I mean is like whenever they come on, I'm like, are you sure? And they show up anyway. And I'm like, I guess that was a good time. But I saw you slide screaming at the top of your lungs in a 4-story slide drop. Okay, if you think that's fun.
Is there like an Eisner for like media stuff in comics?
What do you mean?
Like did they?
Shit, you're super low again.
Okay, can I ask you something, Maddie? Are we
okay?
Super,
Yeah. I'm trying.
Are we super low because you're drunk?
No. You're just super low because there's a problem. I'm trying. I raised the volume here on my computer like at the maximum level, but
yeah. Try one more thing, and then after that, let's just hang out as much as you can stand because the volume is low.
Yeah.
You want to restart? It'll take like 2 minutes, 5 minutes tops. You want to restart? I want to see you, man.
Was that what'd you say?
I said, do you want to try restarting your computer?
Your computer.
Oh, restart the whole computer. Okay.
Yeah. See if that resets
whole
everything.
Thing. Okay. All right. See you in a bit.
Right.
Bye bye.
A dog. Oh.
Just hit restart, man.
No, what I was asking you was, is there like an award in the Eisners? They have other categories. Is there one for comics journalism? I believe so.
Yeah, for sure.
If so, what happens if we ever get nominated for that one, Eric?
First of all,
the pain I just caused you.
like the reach you have to mentally, the hoops that you have to jump through mentally to think that we are quote unquote journalism.
Okay, true. I agree with you with that. But my counter argument to that is, have you seen what they consider actual journalism in comics? Because it's not that far
fair
off.
enough. The answer is no. I don't know. But I would like, if we ever got nominated, I would plead with them, please watch the show some more and rethink the choices that you have made. I'll take the nomination, but if we ever get anywhere near spitting distance of like winning, I would just throw it back and be like, no, you take that back.
But this is why I want you to give the acceptance speech when we win.
Yeah.
So it would be awesome.
It would just
just stand up there and bash the show.
No, it would just, I would bash us and be grateful to the show. But similar to guests, I would be like, what are you guys doing? Why are you here? Thank you very much. But, these guys are idiots. That just gave me so much anxiety at the idea that could even potentially happen. I hope it doesn't.
And then that means you'd also have to go back to San Diego Comic-Con.
No. I'd rather send like a puppet that looks like me to like, I'd rather send a South Park puppet to look like me.
We can get that. We can maybe that's who should show up to win the awards is puppet versions of all of us.
Yeah.
I like how I've just made up this world where we're winning
the scenario in which we would even be in the fantasy world this would ever happen. There's a lot of fantasy aspects in there. 1, we would get nominated. 2, that we would win. 3, I would even go to San Diego Comic-Con again. There's a lot of
there's a lot of
sci-fi film stuff happening in that fucking
a lot of special effects. But on a serious note, do podcasts get nominated in that category?
I couldn't tell you. I think here's the thing that I think a lot of people who are not looking at me as like a completely cynical asshole, but the guests will want to be part of it, right? I think the reason why is because I'm trying to, and I think you guys are too, the spirit of Matteo's coming in here drunk. So yeah, definitely he understands. Like the spirit of why I love hanging out is because the podcast is ancillary, right? And I think that's the reason why, like, I talk to you guys like this. Not necessarily on a monthly or
yes.
Does it work?
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Yes. It's working out. Awesome.
Okay. What's up, brother?
How are you, man?
What up? Good. How are you guys?
Good.
So you've been partying today? Is that what's
Yeah. It's
it's a
October
holiday.
15th is a holiday, national holiday.
What's the
holiday is it?
official holiday?
I don't know. I have no clue. It's like, let me look. I'll tell you.
He's being sincere.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, no, I have no clue. I just know that it's August 15th. And
this is going to be good. Matteo, Eric and I were just talking about what if one day, because the Eisners have a category of an award for best comics journalism. What if the podcast gets nominated in that category? And what if we win?
so, no, repeat, sorry.
Yeah, it's so unbelievable. Mateo's brain stopped working. What if aliens came down?
What I missed is there already a category?
So there's a
for
category for best comics journalism, an Eisner Award, best journalism.
Oh shit!
in comics.
Okay, well, journalism.
See?
All right. Okay. All right. Fair.
Big word for
It's a
us.
stretch.
I agree.
It's
I
a
agree,
stretch
but
that I can't
agree.
even imagine.
I agree, but to be fair, what they consider journalism in comics is also a big stretch to be called journalism. It's a lot of gossip.
Sure.
Yeah,
If we put it that way, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so
You're right. Anyway, the final result is that it will never happen. So we're good.
but if it does, we need Eric to give the acceptance speech so he can stand up there and and ask everyone, why have you done this?
Yeah. I'm already imagining him going on stage and like, I don't know. Like, I don't even know what I'm doing here.
You and I can stand behind him holding the red lights.
Yeah. And we were partying behind him. Yeah. He's like, all right. Thank you. Like,
listen.
All right.
I would say thank you. I would say thank you in the best way that I can to represent you guys in the show. I would say thank you so much for honoring these two idiots for sitting behind desks and being cordial and smart and talking back and forth to each other. But I don't know what you guys are doing. I'd be insulted on their behalf. I'd be
But if that happened, would you then just disappear from the show? Be like, I can't do this anymore.
I would definitely go home early. You know how you guys would go out and party? Like, we accidentally won an award. I'd be like, I'm out of here, man.
I think that would be like the final like touch for him to leave officially the show and never come back.
Yes,
like
that's what I'm asking.
An award is gonna be officially the thing that makes him leave.
And you know what?
You know why?
It would go
nothing
perfectly on the other side of you. You have the shark on one side and the award on the other side. It'd be perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to know why? Because I wouldn't be able to believe anything anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Your reality would be shattered like forever.
What? Why would what professional body?
59 years of career and the first award is for a fucking stupidest
I never even thought about it on that level.
Ever.
I would have never thought about it on that level. Like, here I am since the age of 18, wanting to find some way to legitimize my body of work, me as an artist, my hard work of getting here, and two idiots throwing shit at each other.
Like two baboons.
Is the thing that made
by the way, I just found out what August 15 stands for. It's the Assumption of Mary.
Okay, so it's a religious holiday.
It's a religious. Okay, that makes sense.
I don't know what Assumption means. Meaning that
I don't know.
What?
Don't get the Catholics mad at us, Maddie. Hey, can I ask you something? I'm following up on this thing.
Yep.
We were talking to Robert Kirkman the other day, and I think it was.
And after that, I have something really fun to share with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we were talking to Kirkman the other day, and I had said, I think it was one negative thing too far, where even you had to comment to be like, oh, come on, man. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, it was one too far.
And by the way, the thing that I want to share is related to that.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Okay. I was curious to know what that was, because in my head, it's all just the same. You know what I mean? It's all just poison. Like, what was it just the amount, or was it like the thing?
The amount. Okay. Because I'm used to, like, there's a certain level of like bashing, like beating up Shawn. Yeah. But normally it stops at a certain level.
Yeah. Or it's spread out
this
better,
time
right?
Or spread out better. But it was a moment in which it was continuous and nonstop. Yeah. And even I, like, notoriously like a Jew hater, like even I was like, come on, guys. Like,
that's too much.
This is too much. Yeah. But so just to, put a balance to it, since I was the defendant of Shawn 2 days ago, I want to share with you something that I've been wanting to share.
Oh, no.
And this is my turn now, Shawn. So I'm apologizing in advance.
No, what did I do? Oh, no.
Okay, is that still
okay? Wait. One thing.
Okay.
And I think this also captures what you're about to do, right? We make fun of Shawn. Wait, hold on. I'm going to take this back because I don't know for sure with you, Maddie. We make fun of Shawn, and he just happens to be Jewish. We don't make fun of him exclusively. And I thought that for a second,
not because if.
Yeah, okay, but then I stopped, and I thought, like, maybe that's not what Matteo's doing. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I don't know. All right, continue.
So even this thing that I'm about to show you is not related to Shawn Jewishness.
Okay,
but it's related to just Shawn being Shawn.
Okay, so what am I stepping into?
Okay, so
oh, no.
So many of you probably don't know. I'm talking to the listeners now.
Okay, I thought you meant like
recently.
Who the fuck are you talking to?
Yeah. But recently we did a collaboration with another Discord channel, which is the how you call it, the Six More Vodka people,
Marcos,
and we were judges for a contest that they did. Okay, so Shawn and I, and they contacted us like a couple of weeks before to get organized about this contest and to explain to us how the contest was gonna go and the whole process. And at a certain point, we were talking by email. It was an email thread with us and Six More Vodka people, okay, about the whole thing. And at a certain point, it came time to advertise the contest, because they wanted it to be a collaboration between our Discord channel and their Discord channel. So they wanted us to advertise this contest onto our Discord channel. So they were like, okay, so here's the thing, blah, 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 blah. And they described the steps. And then at a certain point, we're like, okay, awesome. So we will include Jamie, our editor, who's the the admin for our Discord channel, to advertise the whole thing through the channel and blah blah blah. And Shawn did this whole thing. So she's like, okay, he was like, okay, here's Jamie, CC'd here. So you can talk to him. He'll do the whole thing. Just share with him images and everything you need. All right. Then 1 day and a half goes by. Okay. I want to remind you, 1 day and a half. And in defense to Shawn, I want to say Shawn has been really busy and Shawn is old as fuck. So I understand. But at the same time, I was really surprised about what happened. Okay. So 1 day and a half after this whole thing happens, remember, email, Shawn sends them Jamie's email and everything set up for Jamie to do.
Yes.
Okay. So, okay. Share screen.
Oh no.
Window.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Share.
Fuck. What? I don't know. I want to show you because this is fucking amazing. It's open. Let's see. Because I took screenshots, Shawn. I just want you to
I know. I'm sure you did. Matteo enjoys my fuck ups more than anything.
Can you see this? Do you see this?
Yeah, I see it. Go ahead.
All right. This is the first message that Shawn sent me. All right. And to be fair, I wanna say another thing. That day we had an incredible wind and rain. So there was a problem with my connection. So probably some of the text that I saw, Shawn got my text later and blah, blah, blah. So some of the confusion might come from that. But, okay.
But
I want to show you.
Hold on. Before you go, I'm going to say two things. One, holy shit, there's like a chronology of freaking screenshots.
Yeah. That's what I did because I was so fucking frustrated, but I wanted to document this moment.
Yeah.
Because it was like, this is not happening.
Yeah. But also, too, here's the second part. You opened that up with, I don't know if there was wind or rain. And I'm like, wind and rain blows away text from like
yeah. But no. To be fair, this is true because I'm using what the fuck, like Elon Musk's thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's a satellite connection. So when there's strong winds and stuff, the connection goes up. So to be fair, and WhatsApp works in a specific way. So sometimes your messages don't get to the recipient at the same moment. Sure. So sometimes you write. Sure. So the way you see it, the succession of messages is not necessarily the same.
It's not chronological.
Of messages it's not chronological to the other person. It's not the same. Okay. So, here's Shawn texts. Hey, brother, can you post the 6 more vodka thing to our Discord? I'm going to be tattooing all day tomorrow. And not tattooing, but
it's tattooing.
Okay. We can. Okay. And here I'm already like, you did that 1 day and a half ago. All right. So is my reply, isn't Jamie going to do it? Because again, Shawn gave them his contact. So everything was already set up. And to be honest with you, I checked on Discord and Jamie had already done everything. So we were good. But at this point, I was like, now I want to understand what's going on in Shawn's mind. All right. Okay. It's like, oh yeah, we have to give him that info.
No, you're just fucking with me.
And Jamie already had that info because Shawn gave that info to Jamie. And now my brain is starting like, no, I got to get to the bottom because
that's your mistake.
Again,
that is
this
your
point,
mistake.
I had already, but I already checked on Discord and Jamie had already done everything. Yeah. So everything was fine, but I wanted to get to the bottom of it. My OCD, there's a small OCD part of my brain. They wanted to get to the bottom of it. And I wanted to understand what was going on in Shawn's head. All right. So, and I was like, I think he has all the info. Is in the email chain. All right. Okay, I didn't see that. And again, Shawn was the one who did it. All right. So, and I was like, okay, you CC'd him and Zoe to the email chain. Did you forget already? So now I'm smiling, but inside I'm not smiling. I'm like, I'm losing my patience here. Okay, so here I sent him the email. I sent him the email that he sent. All right. And he was like, no, I sent that before you and I spoke. And here I'm losing my shit. Like, I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand what you're saying. But Jamie posted it on Discord today. So it's all good. And here there's a part of me who wanted to leave that go.
Yeah, you should
I was like, okay,
you should have.
Yeah. Okay. Like a minute before I saw your message about them being included already. And here he's, pulling me back in. I was like, you included them. You.
This is the text of a mom and dad who are about to get into a fight.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't see that they were on the initial email. So when I forwarded it to them, it included it twice. Then you told me they were in the initial email. So that's what happened. And I'm already, I don't know. At this point, I don't know. I just want to fight. I want to have a fight. They were not on the initial email. You see them on July 21st and included that in the email chain. That's why I don't understand where you say, oh yeah, we have to give him that info. Followed by, okay, I didn't see that. I just forgot I added them. Finally, he admits that he forgot. I was like, yeah, finally, Jesus Christ. That's what was the point of it. They forgot after only 3 days. Okay, that was 3 days, not 1 day and a half. Sorry. And then followed by racial insults. Until just now, when you pointed it out to me, I have 8 emails. Now Shawn comes back. It comes back. With guests for all the shows with dates and all kinds of different.
Shawn got defensive.
Right, Gene. Yeah. Scheduling all these damn shit's down on my brain. So fuck off, fuckball, fucking muppet. And at this point, it's gone. I just wanted to have a reaction from him because so far it was like, yeah, well, whatever. And it was like, aren't you mad as well as I am? Because I was getting mad, So I finally give him a kiss. Oh no, he gives me a kiss and he laughs. So I give him a kiss back. And it's just buonasera, which is wrong, but whatever. I understood the point.
Well, what should I have said?
Buonasera, buona with an A. Buonasera, principessa. Okay. Yeah, and that's the interaction.
Okay, so let me say this. Before, like 5 minutes into us going, starting to record, I was talking to Shawn about the things that he has to deal with when it comes to the difficulties of this podcast. And he was just telling me, dude, if I can just get a coordinator to handle any and all of this, it would just save me a day, And I thought to myself, yeah, this is really tough, right? I bet you there's a lot of challenges. But I look at that back and forth.
But this, to be honest with you, doesn't happen all the time. Yeah. It was just one moment, which
but here's what I think.
5 minutes.
It doesn't happen all the time.
I was kind of nervous about something. I was like, you know what? This is my target now. I'm gonna fucking kill this fucking guy. Like, he's making me just waste my time. So I'm going to waste him time as well.
But my point is, it doesn't happen all the time. But when it happens, It is the shit show that you just showed me. That's the back and forth. Now, to be fair, Shawn, that's no, it's, and again, I think Matteo would agree to this. It doesn't happen all the time, but when it does happen, it makes, and also Matteo just said it out loud, where he's like, it's a combination of Matteo not getting enough sugar or something during his day. He's going to make your problem that now is his problem, your problem times 10, So it makes a lot of sense, but
because normally I would be like, he's tired and he's really old.
Yeah.
And that's it. I'm gonna, whatever happens, it's not my problem. His brain is fried right now, but it's not my problem.
Yeah.
But that day I was like, no, I'm not going to let that go. I want to get to the bottom of it.
This presents to get to the bottom. You know what the bottom was?
It's bottomless.
He forgot.
It's bottomless.
But to me, it's so crazy that he forgot after like 3 days. It was just unbelievable. I couldn't believe that for some reason.
It's almost cruel to pick on an old man. You know what I mean? He's got like a walking stick and you keep kicking the walking stick away from him,
But I would say at the same time, it's that, if you're old and nobody's pushing you.
Oh, sure.
The trajectory is just down.
He's keeping you
so
sharp.
Sometimes
Shawn.
you need a youngster just kicking you, just to be like, oh, what the fuck? I'm old, but I'm not that old. I still have energy in me and fight back. So you get some energy back.
In the small part, this relieves me of the guilt that I felt during the fucking Kirkman episode, because I didn't think I was going all that hard, but the moment you stepped in and it was like, yo, that's an awful lot, and I was like, oh man, I feel, I had a moment of humanity where I was like, oh, I hate this feeling of the humanity, but then I'm looking at this now, I'm like, oh good, it's not exclusive to me, it's just I'm also I don't feel so bad. Today is at the hour mark we get to pick on more on Shawn. Shawn, you're doing a great job.
You, Shawn. We love you.
Thank you for having us on this show and for not kicking us off. We crossed the hour threshold, so we have an extra 30 minutes for Patreon.
Yeah. But first we need a bye-bye. A bye-bye.
Oh, he did it twice. Can we not just...
No, we need an official bye-bye.
The Inkpulp podcast.